Have you ever sat down, ready to start something important, only to end up scrolling on your phone for an hour? You planned to finish a project, write a page, study a little, but somehow TikTok, Instagram, or a dozen little messages got in the way. You didn't mean to waste time. You just wanted a break, just one quick check. But that 1 minute turned into 20, then your energy disappeared, your motivation faded. And that important task, it stayed untouched. Sound familiar? You're not alone. In today's world, distraction is everywhere. It's in your pocket, on your desk, on your screen, waiting at every moment to pull you away from what matters most. And the worst part, these distractions feel normal. They feel small. They don't seem dangerous at all. But little by little, they steal your focus. They steal your time. They steal your progress. You know what you want. You know what you need to do. But the notifications never stop. The videos keep playing. The messages keep arriving. So even when you try to take action, you get interrupted. Even when you care deeply about your goal, you get pulled away. It's frustrating, isn't it? Not because you have low self-control, not because you're lazy, but because your attention keeps getting hijacked. And here's the hard truth. Distraction isn't just annoying, it's powerful, it's silent, and it's dangerous. Because it stops action before it even begins. Distraction doesn't yell at you, it whispers. It offers quick pleasure, easy escape, a little comfort in exchange for your long-term progress. And if you're not careful, those tiny interruptions become a habit, a pattern, a way of life. You start believing that you're bad at focusing, that you're not disciplined enough. But that's not true. Focus is not a gift, it's a skill and distraction. It's not just a result of modern life, it's often a choice. Here's the good news. Awareness is the first step. When you realize how often distraction steals your power, you can start to take it back. You can start designing a space that helps you stay focused. You can start protecting your attention like it's gold. In a world where everyone wants your focus, the ability to control your attention is a superpower. And that superpower, it's something you can build. One decision at a time, one focused hour at a time. Because when you take back your focus, you take back your power. Another common belief is that multitasking makes us more productive. You've probably heard people say, "I can handle it and I'm great at multitasking." They reply to emails while attending meetings, watch videos while doing homework, check notifications while working on a project. At first, it sounds impressive, like a superpower, like a fast track to getting more done. But science tells a different story. Multitasking doesn't make you faster, it makes you scattered. You're not actually doing multiple things at once. You're switching back and forth, rapidly, repeatedly. And every switch costs you focus. Every switch drains your energy. Every switch delays your progress. Because the brain wasn't designed to split attention between tasks that both require thinking. It's like trying to read two books at the same time, one line from each. You don't absorb, you don't remember. And worst of all, you never go deep. Instead of entering a state of flow, which is a zone where you're fully engaged, you just stay on the surface. You get distracted. You lose rhythm. This is why multitasking often leads to half-finished work, longer hours, and lower quality results. You may feel busy, but being busy isn't the same as being effective. So, what's the solution? Instead of multitasking, the more effective way is single tasking. Single tasking means giving your full focus to one task at a time, just one clear goal in front of you without any distractions. Because when you focus deeply on one thing, you enter a different level of performance. You start thinking better, creating better, solving problems faster. You feel more in control, less overwhelmed, more alive. It's like turning down the noise in your mind so you can finally hear yourself think. And this is the key to real progress. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing the right thing right now with full presence. That's how you get into flow. That's how you complete work with pride. That's how you build momentum. Let me tell you about a young designer named Kevin. Kevin was talented. He had clients. He had ideas. He loved design. But he had a problem that he could never finish his work on time. Not because he didn't care, not because he wasn't smart, but because every few minutes his phone would light up a notification, a message, a video, a new idea. He'd start working on a project and then a meme from a friend. He'd answer a message and suddenly he was on Instagram, then TikTok, then YouTube. An hour passed, the design still half done. Every day felt the same. He'd sit down with a plan, but get lost in the noise. One night, frustrated with himself, Kevin asked, "Why can't I focus?" And then he realized something powerful. It's not just about willpower, it's about the environment. So he decided to experiment. The next morning, he left his phone in another room, no buzzing, no temptation. He opened his laptop but kept only one tab open, his design file. He used the Pomodoro technique, that is, 25 minutes of deep work, followed by 5 minutes of rest. He put on noise-canceling headphones, played calm background music, and set a timer. The first 25 minutes felt strange. His hand twitched, wanting to grab the phone, but he stayed focused. When the timer rang, he took a short break, then went back in. After 1 hour, he looked up and realized he had finished more work than he usually did in 3. And not just more, it was better. That experience changed everything. Kevin began to build what he called his focus zone. He chose one specific spot in his home where he only did deep work. No eating, no browsing, just creating. He worked in time blocks, 2 hours in the morning, without checking messages. He used apps to block social media during work sessions. No shortcuts, no excuses. He also created a ritual. Before starting, he would write down the one task he needed to finish, not 5 tasks, just one. By setting physical and digital boundaries, Kevin started to regain control of his attention. He didn't rely on motivation. He designed an environment that made distraction harder and focus easier. The results: his projects got done faster. Clients noticed the difference. He started feeling proud again, not because he worked harder, but because he worked smarter. He stopped blaming himself for being easily distracted and started building a system that supported his focus. And you can do the same. You don't need to be a machine. You don't need more willpower. You need a space that protects your attention. You need routines that train your brain to go deep. Because when you shape your environment shapes you. And when you protect your focus, you unlock your true potential. Now, let's talk about something deeper than productivity. Yes, creating a distraction-free space helps you finish your work. Yes, it helps you hit your deadlines and check off your to-do list. But it also gives you something even more powerful, a sense of control. Because when you focus fully on one task, without interruption, something magical happens. You stop feeling scattered, you stop feeling behind, and you start to feel strong again. You enter what's called flow, a mental state where your focus sharpens, time disappears, and your energy rises. In that moment, you're not fighting against yourself, you're simply doing. And when you complete that one task, whether it's writing a page, designing a slide, or learning a few new words, you feel a quiet victory, a small win. But that small win is not small at all, because it tells your brain, I did it. It builds confidence, it builds momentum, it builds a belief inside you that you are capable. And that belief, it's the beginning of a powerful cycle. You start building a positive loop. One focused hour leads to one finished task. One finished task leads to a sense of progress. And that progress leads to motivation. Not the fake kind that fades in 5 minutes, but the real kind that grows with every action. This is how you create a snowball of success. Not through hype, not through willpower alone, but through design. You set up a system that protects your focus. You reduce the friction. You turn off the noise. You choose a quiet corner. You block the distractions. And slowly, you stop seeing focus as a struggle and start seeing it as a habit, as your normal. This is what I want you to understand. Focus isn't just about getting things done. It's about building trust with yourself. Every time you show up and do what you said you'd do, you prove to yourself that you can follow through. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to get everything right. You just need to show up with intention. Because focus is not about pressure, it's about power. Your power. So design a space where you can win. Create a zone where you can hear your own thoughts, follow your own ideas, and finish what you start. And when you win one small battle, one focused session, one complete task, that spark, that shift, that voice inside saying, I can do this. And that voice gets louder with each win, stronger with each action, braver with each step. That's how real change begins, not from willpower alone, but from the momentum of small victories. You create your environment shapes your actions, and your actions shape your identity. So now, let's bring it all together. In a world full of noise, distraction is the easy road. It's always one click away, one buzz, one scroll. It promises comfort, but delivers delay. It promises fun, but steals your focus. And every time you give in, you lose a little momentum. But here's the truth, you don't have to live that way. You don't have to be controlled by your notifications. You don't have to surrender your time to things that don't matter. You can take your power back one decision at a time, because distraction is not your destiny. Focus is not a talent, it's a choice. It's a skill you can train, a muscle you can build. And when you protect your attention, you unlock the best version of yourself. You stop just surviving your days and start designing them. You stop reacting to the world and start creating your own. Yes, it starts small. Maybe it's just putting your phone in another room. Maybe it's blocking 1 hour in the morning to work without interruptions. Don't underestimate those small changes, because small changes lead to big shifts. One focused hour leads to one clear result. One clear result builds one quiet confidence, and that confidence, that's where your momentum begins. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right thing with your full heart. So if you've been feeling scattered, know this. You don't need more motivation, you need less distraction. You don't need to work harder, you need to work smarter. And that starts by building an environment that supports your focus, a space where your attention is protected, a rhythm that helps you move forward, not spiral in circles. When you build that kind of space, you begin to feel something powerful. You begin to feel capable, aligned, alive. You begin to feel in control again. And that feeling, that's what drives greatness. That's how you create your best work. That's how you finish what you start. That's how you build a life that reflects your real potential. So today, don't aim for everything. Aim for one thing. Do it fully. Do it without distraction. And tomorrow, do it again. Because every time you focus, you are practicing success. Every time you protect your time, you are building. And every time you show up with intention, you are becoming the person you were meant to be. So silence the noise, set the boundary, choose your task, and go all in. Not later, not when it's easy. Start now, because the power to change your life has always been in your hands, right behind your focus. Start today. Your future is waiting.